Y'all, Say My Name is old enough to drink. And
Hello, darkness, my
Guten Tag, family. It is your girl T, aka Nappy Headed Jojoba. Not Nappy, not Jojoba. Nappy Headed Jojoba. You have to say the whole thing. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. Coming at y'all in a different setup, although not entirely unfamiliar. This is usually where I film my lives, but today I am at my desk because it's a different kind of video. As you will have known, because this video, like all others, has a title. And before I get into this, I'm going to address the fact that you probably clicked on this video out of pure confusion. You saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, and realized that both are completely inconsistent with my normal content. Matter of fact, some of y'all might have clicked because you thought my channel had been hacked. This is off-brand, baby, I know it. Except it isn't off-brand to me and my freaking weird brain in real life. This is just about hanging out, having fun, trying something new. This isn't going to be some straightforward, non-meandering BuzzFeed or Watch Mojo type of list. If it isn't already obvious by now, there will be ample rambling. Let's just reminisce like Pete Rock, because realizing how old some of these songs are has me feeling positively geriatric, and I know some of y'all are gonna feel my pain. So, some backstory. I'm in my late 90s gas efficient whip a couple months back, and Say My Name comes on the radio. A classic, we've all heard it before. And the display on my radio often will show the year that the song came out in parentheses after the title. And in this case, the year was 2000. Now, I am not some sort of highfalutin math doctor, but I am capable of doing some quick arithmetic and realize, since we are in the Lord's year of 2021 AD, that would make Say My Name 21 years old. Which means that this song is old enough to drink. For the unaware, I am in the US, and here the legal drinking age is 21 rather than 18 or some other younger age. You are welcome to die for this country at age 18, but you are not welcome to have a nip of whiskey before shuffling off this mortal coil in service to it. Anyway, Say My Name is actually even slightly older than 21, because even though the single came out in 2000, it's off the album The Writing's on the Wall, which came out in 99. And it was shortly after this revelation that I had to pull over and wait calmly for my existential crisis to subside. P.S. It did not. What happened instead was I started spiraling out and thinking of all the other songs and pieces of culture that I don't think of as that old, like damn, but pieces of the culture that are nonetheless at this point old enough to purchase and consume adult beverages. So I started putting together this list, which I've actually had for a long time, because this is not a new idea that I've had. I've actually been sitting on it for a while, but just didn't really have the guts to be this adventurous with the content that I do here. Plus, I ain't trying to get my video claimed or demonetized either. Even if I do get dinged, I'm not that pressed, because this is just to have fun. And more to the point, I'm not that pressed if this video gets dinged, because this video is sponsored by Covet Fashion. In a nutshell, Covet Fashion is an app that's part game and part styling extravaganza. I feel like if I hadn't gone down the career path that I did, in a parallel universe, Bizarro T would have been a stylist. And the Covet app really reminds me of that thing that Cher has in Clueless. You know how she has that computer in her closet where she can virtually put together outfits to see if they slay? I've wanted that pretty much my entire life, essentially since I first ever saw Clueless, and Covet is basically that. It's a virtual styling platform. And these aren't just rando clip art jeans and dresses and jackets, y'all. They're real pieces from real brands that they digitize into the app. It's fun. I was able to give my Abby some cute twists, play around with her fits, makeup, and accessories to suit my aesthetic. She is turning it, if I do say so myself. And every Friday this April for Earth Month, Covet will be highlighting fashion brands who make it their mission to be environmentally conscious. Make sure you check out the Covet Consciously campaign for a chance to win a $1,000 digital gift card for a shopping spree with any one of these fine retailers. All you have to do is download the app and complete the tutorial for a chance to win, and the more you play, the more entries you get. So check the link in the description box to download the app. It is not an affiliate link, but it does let them know that I sent you, which means that they will know to hook you up with some exclusive gifts in the app. Spawn aside, we will not be playing any of the songs in this list, but I might bless y'all with an acapella rendition or two along the way. It really depends on how strong this kombucha is hitting. I don't know what I'm going to call this yet, but this is 21 songs that are 21 plus, and it makes me feel like I need to lie down. The first one, we've already covered it. It's Say My Name by Destiny's Child, which again, objectively, I realize that that song is not new, but to realize that it is over 21, Woo, Destiny's Chile. Number 2 is a song that I do not recommend singing at karaoke, and yes, it is from personal experience, and that is the Thong Song by Cisco. One thing I guess I never noticed listening to the Thong Song on the radio is that it is 95% chorus and the other 5% is just Cisco screaming. Gets a bit repetitive. Nonetheless, it shakes me up to think that even though I know it ain't new, I didn't think it was this old. Number 3 on our list is There You Go by Pink. You know, there you go, something, 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 something. I don't really know the words, but sometimes it bees like that. Number 4 on our list, Bye 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 by NSYNC. And listen, it makes sense. Like, it makes sense that Bye 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 is more than 21 years ago, because I feel like I remember being at like a junior high school mixer dancing to it. And we've had to endure Justin Timberlake's solo career for what feels like a lifetime at this point. But I guess it really just speaks to the idea that time does not flow linearly on a personal level, like the way that your memories are connected to different points in time and the way time stretches and constricts. But it is just weird to think that Bye 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 is old enough at this point to go to a bar and order a beer. Number 5, getting more back into my personal music taste, and that is Hot Boys by Missy Elliott featuring Nas, Eve, and Q-Tip. And wow, I probably was listening to Hot Boys within the past week. I mean, that is still in heavy rotation in my life, and I feel like the idea that that's been the case for over 2 decades, it's stressing me out. Number 6 on our list is a modern day wedding reception classic, although I guess it ain't that modern if this song is this old, and that is Let's Get Married by Jagged Edge. And as the song says, we ain't getting no younger. We might as well do it. And by do it, I mean move on to the next one. I'm gonna do numbers 7 and 8 together because it's the same artist. Number 7 is Big Pimpin' by Jay-Z, and number 8 is Can I Getta by Jay-Z. Surreal. I mean, none of these are a surprise to me because I put this list together, but I do know when I was putting these titles together, I was sweating profusely because it was just such a surreal experience to realize how long these songs have been in my brain and in my life and in our lives. For example, number 9, Forgot About Dre, which is of course Dre featuring Eminem. Of course, off of Dr. Dre's album 2001, which came out in 1999, which segues perfectly to the next song, which is The Next Episode, which is Dre featuring Snoop. My favorite thing about The Next Episode is how the radio edit alters the very last line of the song. Hey, 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 hey. The radio edit says, eat wumps every day, which means that it has been officially more than 2 decades that my friends have sustained the joke of saying eat wumps every day every time we hear or even just refer to this song. Number 11, Where My Girls At by 702, as in, where my girls at? From the front to back, well, is she feeling that? I bow and hand up, can you repeat that? Tryna take my man, see, I don't need that. So don't play yourself, turn my headphones up. Number 12, and this one, again, like, I believe it, but I can't believe it. What's It Gonna Be? Busta Rhymes featuring Janet Jackson. Like me on you. And you on me, what's gonna be? I cannot do a Jackson-esque falsetto, so I will spare you guys any more of that. Number 13, and this is one that I threw in more as a palate cleanse for myself, and that is, Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Of course, by Shania Twain. I threw this one in just because I stumbled upon it in my searches for other titles that would fit the qualification of being 21 or over, but for me, this song has always felt old. Again, totally threw this one in more for myself. I just stumbled upon it in my search when I was putting this list together, and I was kind of surprised that it was charting on the Billboard Hot 100 as recently as 22 years ago. I feel like my earliest memories include this song being played in commercials for feminine hygiene products. Next up is a song that I don't particularly like either, and that is Too Close by Next. I honestly, amongst friends, I refer to it as the Bon Noir song. The song is just a yuck. I feel like it's an anthem for frauteurs. With number 15, we're heading back into a track that is in heavy rotation, still at Casa Ray Ray. Money, Power, and Respect by The Lox featuring Lil' Kim and DMX. This song is iconic. I love it. It will never be old to me, but apparently it is old according to clocks. This song encompasses New York boom bap hip hop of the late 90s and early noughts that I grew up on, and I just love this song so much. It's when I'm ready to go to war, this is the kind of song I put on. I happened to have seen a recent clip of DMX in an interview on Instagram a couple days ago, so having seen DMX, I do fully believe that this was at least 21 years ago. DMX has definitely been through a lot, and we can see the passage of some hard years there compared to when Money, Power, Respect came out. The number 16 song on this list is Still Not a Player by Big Pun featuring Joe, and that one's a bit sobering because Pun is obviously no longer with us. He's long gone. Another song, much like Money, Power, and Respect and so many others on this list, just so frigging iconic, and it's very, very disorienting to realize that it is this old. Number 17 is What You Like? A whole lotta. I am not going to try to sing like Tyrese. I will spare y'all that, but that is What You Like by Debrat and Tyrese. Love that song. Still comes up on my Spotify either randomly or by choice frequently. It is such a good bop. Another one that, while it's a classic, I still feel like it feels very hip and current, but maybe that's because I am elderly. Number 18 is from 2001, so it's old enough to drink in Canada. It's got a little while to go before it's old enough to drink here, but I'm including it anyway. It is Mr. Cheeks, Lights, Camera, Action. Another one that when it comes on the radio or wherever now, I am still dipping it and doing it and getting it good like I guess I was 20 years ago, back when my knees still worked. Anyway, number 19, I Need a Girl, Part 2, which is Puffy featuring Mario Winans. Again, this one is old enough to drink in Canada because according to my notes here, it's from 2002, but still, it's a wow. Wow. That song has been out since 2002. And I wanted to include this one because Genuine is also featured in this song. And the idea that I Need a Girl Part 2 is old enough to drink is weird to me. But the idea that Pony by Genuine solo, of course, that like, I feel like Genuine's Pony has been out as long as I have been alive. Again, time is so subjective. It is so strange how you relate to things in your memory as seeming older or younger than they might actually be in terms of how we actually measure time. But wow, like Genuine's Pony feels old. I Need a Girl, not that old, girl. Number 20 is our last, like, old enough to drink in Canada, but not old enough to drink in the US, and that is going to be from Ja Rule featuring Ashanti, Always on Time, which is, of course, off Ja's album Pain is Love, which came out in 2001, back when Fyre Fest was but an ember in Ja's eye. And with number 21, we're going to bring things full circle. We're sticking to the rules. This one is actually old enough to drink here in the US. It is over 21, and that is Ride With Me by Nelly. Hey, must be the money. I was not especially a fan of this song, mainly because I had some friends who played it out. They played that song so much that it just made me hate it. But yeah, that is from 2000, which means it is officially 21 years ago that I had to endure listening to that on repeat on my friend's freaking Winamp 11 billion times. So that's my little list. I know this isn't the typical format that you see this kind of thing in on the internet. This is not how I would have done it if I were producing this type of show for one of the outlets that I work for, because this is exactly the type of content that I tend to do for the internet, you know, on my job. And then here on my personal channel, I stick to ranting about, you know, garbage brands or garbage politicians or garbage people in general. But, you know, I can only YOLO but once. I Coyo Lobo, as a lot of people definitely say frequently. So thank you to all y'all who indulged me in something a little bit more adventurous. In fact, I did do a poll on my Patreon to ask them if they would be down for basically a mystery video unlike anything I've done before, and they were into it. So I hope y'all were into it too. You know, a little something different, keep things spicy, keep things interesting, keep things fun, keep things fresh. And with that, that is going to do it for this one. I hope y'all are sharing in my existential crisis right along with me. I'm about to go like have a shower, like sitting in the shower kind of crisis and like crying while I listen to Jagged Edge type of situation. Thank you to everyone who stuck with me all the way to the end of this video and to today's sponsor, Covet Fashion. And on my way out, I will leave you with 3 bits of advice, and that is to stay safe, stay dangerous, and never trust anyone with a Morphe code. Bye-bye.
That's a nappy-headed hose there, I'm going to tell you that.